Recorded Books presents A Dark and Stormy Tea by Laura Childs, narrated by Barbara Mcculloh. Chapter 1. At 5:30 on a Monday afternoon, it was full-on dark when Theodosia Browning, proprietor of the Indigo Tea Shop, stepped out the back door of the Heritage Society. Pushing back a lock of curly auburn hair, she scanned the western sky, hoping for a faint smudge of orange to light the way home. When she didn't find it, she set off at a fast clip, chiding herself for staying so late. Still, Charleston's Venerable Heritage Society was sponsoring a maritime history seminar this Wednesday, and, as luck would have it, Theodosia and her team had been tapped to cater an afternoon tea for visiting scholars. Gotta hurry back. Drayton will be waiting, Theodosia told herself, as she snuggled her coat collar up against a cold wind. Overhead, trees thrashed as rain began to pelt down, stinging her face like icy needles. Awful weather for early March, especially when Charleston should be bursting with azaleas and pink camellias, she thought. Now, thunder rumbled overhead, low and slow, as if pin after pin were being knocked down in a cosmic bowling alley. Theodosia hurried across King Street and hesitated. She glanced around at enormous 200-year-old homes that sat on their haunches like nervous cats, then shivered as sheets of rain slashed down. Because the shortest distance between 2 points was a straight line, she knew a shortcut down Gateway Walk, a tangled trail that wound through the backside of the historic district, would save her an entire block of slopping through puddles. And with this weather system blowing in so hard and strong, the decision was a no-brainer. Of course, Gateway Walk was probably deserted right now, Theodosia told herself, as she hurried through a pair of ancient wrought-iron gates and headed down a narrow, winding path. With this foul, unseasonable weather, there'd be no tourists snapping photos, none of the usual ghost walk tours with guides, spinning eerie tales about haunted graves and wafting white specters. Tall boxwood hedges closed in as Theodosia skimmed along slippery cobblestones. Great gray wisps of fog rolled across her path like ghostly ocean waves, driven in by the wind off Charleston Harbor a few blocks away. Charleston, a city that was already slightly ethereal due to high humidity, salt-laden sea air, and antique glowing street lamps, became positively spooky when the fog swirled in. Of course it's spooky, Theodosia told herself. Even this pathway is purported to be a prime viewing area for ghostly phenomena, which, by the way, I don't happen to subscribe to. Theodosia had traveled these hidden paths and walkways dozens of times, always reveling in their sumptuous gardens, Greek statuary, hidden grape arbors, and pattering fountains. But tonight, she had to admit the atmosphere did feel slightly different, and for good reason. Always a gracious and posh dowager, Charleston was on edge right now. A dangerous killer, the local press had dubbed Fog-Heeled Jack, had been skulking down its hidden lanes and alleys. After a 7-year hiatus, this madman had suddenly reappeared in Charleston to strangle an unsuspecting young woman with a twist of sharp wire. Now, residents hurried home from work in a wash of blue twilight and locked their doors before total darkness descended. Visitors who'd come to languish in luxury at Charleston's historic inns and feast at 4-star restaurants that specialized in grilled redfish, blue crab, and fresh oysters were warned not to wander too far from the relatively safe confines of the historic district. Around the city market, Waterfront Park, and White Point Gardens, the Charleston police had stepped up patrols, and officers rode
Sample complete. Ready to continue?